How's your week been? Probably less interesting than mine. I hope it was less interesting than mine. I've had that kind of week where I need to go away just for the weekend, just for a little bit of time away from, people. So I'm packing to run away. Well, not run away, but run away. I think Haworth this weekend. Quite fancy that. After the drama, perhaps I need a proper good drama with a bit of Bronte. I've not been away for a couple of weeks because it got a bit snowy, and then it got a bit icy, and then work got in the way as per usual. So escaping just for a couple of days is really rather a lovely thought. The one thing we haven't had any drama with is the van. So whilst I am out here hiding from the family and packing it, honest, I am packing it, I really am. I thought I'd show you around the van. We've got the Expedition 67 Flex, and it's on the 25 Ducato model. So we've got the funky front grille and the cat's eye lights. I think that was the main change in it. It just got a bit of a facelift between 24 and 25. So essentially it's still the same. There was a couple of little things that got moved around, like when we had a look at the show in February last year, we were at the Caravan Camping and Motorhome show, and that's where we placed the order for this by accident. Wasn't intentional, didn't mean to do it. But at that time it was a three-way fridge, and the fridge was at the bottom and the wardrobe was at the top. When we came to pick it up, it was changed. Nobody told us this, but I was quite pleased. I was actually quite excited to see this, that we're onto a compressor fridge, which is up here now, and the wardrobe's down there. And I prefer the compressor fridges because we do a lot of time off grid. And I didn't want something that when we were off grid was reliant on gas. I wanted, like what we always had in our previous van, it was reliant on the 12-volt system. And it's much easier because you can just get up, drive, charge. It's fine. You don't have to go running around looking for gas bottles just to keep your fridge going. So yeah, so that was the one change. And they changed the hob and the sink. So if you've seen the previous one, the hob and the sink has changed. Still the 2-burner on the hob. Sink is a bit smaller. I haven't managed to find a bowl for it, but I don't think that matters. I just, make sure everything's cleaned off and slops have gone before I start doing the washing up. So that's the basic changes in it. The cab. We got the Pioneer head unit, all Bluetooth, yada yada. Eventually I'll get a reversing cam fixed up to that one as well. Handbrake is down there. You need the arms of a gibbon for that one, but I'm learning. Gear stick's up here. That's a perfect place for a gear stick. That is so comfortable. Sorry, never had that before. We had the massive, huge thing in the middle of the floor in the Transit. It's quite an investigation period when we were trying to change gears. It was always a long way round. I don't think it's got anything wildly exciting here. You've got USB and USB-C and what else have we got here? Yeah, USB, USB-C. We've got cold air and warm air. But under here, if you haven't got any of these, get yourself some of these, by the way. I think it's like 20 quid for 4, and they just stick on so they don't slide. They go on these little rubber mats, sticky mats. And when they're full of condensation, when they're fully damp and swollen, you can just microwave them to dry them out and start again. But in here, right, there's a little cupboard, and apparently it's for your bottles, and it is big enough to take a 2.5 litre, 3 litre bottle of Coke in there, or water if you want to be healthy. Water. The other thing is under the seats. So under the bench seats we've got 2 batteries, and all the boxing and all the wiring and everything runs through there, and the fuse box is under those bench seats as well, but you can access that from the front, so that's nice and easy. Top of the seat just comes off, no faff. But under the driver's seat and the passenger seat, there's these huge storage compartments, and I mean huge. Under the driver's seat, I have got, what have I got under there? I've got like the towing eye, I've got the inflator, everything sort of tyre and tow related is under there, and there's space for a bit more. Under the passenger seat, I've got my toolbox. Toolbox is very important. You always need to carry electrical tape, cable ties, and duct tape or gaffer tape. Okay? You can fix anything with those. Maybe, you know, an adjustable spanner and a mini screwdriver set. I'll own up to having those as well. But the amount of repairs that can be done with just a bit of gaffer tape is incredible. But so I've got my toolkit under there, but I've also got a 30-metre reel, an electric reel, and a couple of other bits in there. So yeah, they're really spacious. I didn't realise just how big they were until we got in. The door pockets are great, they're huge, but you're raised higher than you are in a normal Ducato, I think. So you've got extra because you've got the swivel bases and that. So the bottom pockets are no good to chuck stuff in if you need it while you're driving around. But again, they still take a huge amount of stuff down there, and I think you get two pockets and then a door pocket as well. The one thing I do like about the doors is the blinds. Not just the fact that we've got blinds and we can shut everybody out and that they're easy to use, they just concertina up and down, but the frame for them isn't massive. Now, we looked at a couple of models, and one of them was I think it was a Swift, and when you sat in the driver's seat, they were so wide, the housing for the blinds was just so wide that it was actually obstructing your view of the wing mirror. So it wasn't so bad on the driver's side because you can just tilt a bit to have a look, but on the passenger side it kind of obscured quite a good chunk of the wing mirror. And I'm tall, and yeah, hubby's he's very tall. So if we were having a problem with it, then shorter people must really have problems with that. So it was nice to find something that was just a little bit more slimline around the sides of the doors. So you get the table. It's a table. There's a little catch just under here, and you just pull that, and this section just swivels around so that when you're in the passenger seat and you're spun around to face the back, you can have table 2, which is great for the family. And it means that we've totally got rid of the table for the back. That stays permanently as a bed there. We don't need the sofas, it's fine. We can sit here, they're like nice comfy armchairs. Dave the Sock now has a home. And then in here, please excuse the state of it, I bought some cleaning stuff. I bought some soap and stuff to wash the van with, and left it in the van and it all froze solid. But yeah, sink, nice and easy, tips away, drains, cupboard in there, little shelves down there. Now I'm going to be honest about these ones. I know they're a feature of the van, yada yada. They're neither use nor ornament when you're driving, so I'm going to have to put something up the front of those. And, you know, just a little ledge, and then they can be used, because first time you accelerate in this, everything would just shoot off it. So that's the only negative of the bathroom. And then that is the state of the bed. Now in the wardrobe, this is very exciting. The wardrobe is just a rail, which is no good. And so I put a base in, and 3 of them have got their own, you know, got a box each for all of their clothing now, which is much better use of space. We don't have anything to hang, so the only thing I've got to do now is, if we've got 4 of us in the van and we've got all the wet coats, I need to get that worked out. Went on to Amazon, just got cheapy, nothing exciting, fits on, holds everything. The only thing I've had to do is add the elastic, because yeah, don't want the rattles. And yeah, that'll be off that Amazon place as well. Make sure you put some elastic around it, and make sure you use the elastic when you've got it, because otherwise you might be like us and get home and realise that you've been trailing a tail of kitchen roll for several miles. It was a very good job we didn't overtake anybody, so nobody could see it. Up there is just another cupboard. I bought some tension rods. They do the job. I need to sit down. It's getting too excited here. Drive-wise, this van is lovely. It really does drive well. It's firm. I think that's probably down to the tyres, because it's got the Campervan tyres on it, so it's got those ones that are designed for it to be sat around for weeks at a time and it won't rot out. So those will eventually get an upgrade, I think. Just because sometimes, yeah, it feels a bit jolting. Not too bad. I mean, nobody's leaving their seats or anything. Nobody's lost their dentures. But I think that's going to get changed. I don't know if we're going to change the gas. We're going to see how that goes. We've got 2 3.9 kilo bottles in at the moment. We've had the van since October? I think October we got the van. We've had a fair few trips out. We've been out most weekends. I think we've missed 3 in total, because, you know, Christmas, blah blah blah. Christmas and snow. So I think out of that we've only had 3 where we've not gone out, and all of them, because it's been winter, we've been using the heating and we've been using the hot water, and we've been cooking, and we are still on gas bottle number 1. So even with the heating on the hillside warming us up, you know, that's really toasty heating that is in this. It doesn't seem to be too bad. We've got a couple of changes to make to the security. One big one that's coming up. If I can film it, I will. If I can't, I'll just give you details on it. But it's something that I think is an incredibly sensible bit of kit. I mean, we've got the visual deterrent, we've got the steering wheel lock, and we've got other stuff, but this is kind of like the biggest, most effective piece of security that you can fit. So when I get that appointment through, I'll film it and go through it, because yeah, it just seems such a sensible thing to add onto the van. I mean, this has cost a lot of money for me. You know, I know some people they're paying 100, 200,000 pounds for their motorhomes, but this was a hell of a lot of money for us. And it was one of those, you know, it is that yes, it's affordable, but no, we don't normally spend this type of money on spare of the moment. It took me quite a long time to get over that shock. I don't think I got over it in the 6 months we were waiting for the blinking thing to be made. So I don't want somebody running off with my baby. It gets named. It's having an official naming ceremony because we have come up with a name. I just need to get that sorted, and then I'll tell you what the name is. But it's good. Yeah, and that's that on, you know, that on the changes that we're making to the van. Really, I mean, everything else has been slightly bits cosmetic, you know, like doing the wardrobe and making that a more functional space for us. Putting up, you know, utensil holders, sticking some plants and picture frames up, adding a lizard to the mix. Not a real one. It's not something that we're gonna. It doesn't need a huge amount of changes. Oh, I added some spotlights just so that when we're in bed, because it's strip LED lighting, and that can be a little bit fierce at night, so we put some rechargeable LED spotlights in. I've got to sort something out for the kids at the top, because they haven't got anything at the moment. They've just got that light, so I'll probably get them a set of the same, and then it's just recharge every few weeks on them, because they don't draw much and they don't require much care. The one thing I did buy was a folding step from the bathroom. That toilet's quite high, and I guess you could just pop your feet on the shelves because there's enough room to swing your legs out to put your feet on the shelves to support, but it didn't seem fair to the kids to get them to do that, so I treated them to a folding step. That is one thing that's going to get changed. There's the hecky. I'm going to go for one of those, so the Max Air things. You know, venting, vent out, fan in. You know, with cooking, it creates a bit of smoke in here. And it's not like the biggest space, and the smoke alarm there, that's actually really effective. It's very sensitive. Just be warned. So, if the kids and the husband have got the boxes, and there's only room for 3 boxes in there, rather than make 2 of them share, I got a footstool, one of the storage ones, which is absolutely fabulous. Not because it's nice and smooth and lovely and that, but it holds one of my stuff. It fits under the bed when it's in use, and it fits perfectly in the gap between the bench seats and the kitchen, and it's just the right height so that you can lie back on those, sort of lie across them and put your feet up, and yeah, it's sort of a nice little sofa bench for when I'm feeling incredibly lazy. I mean, when I'm feeling incredibly lazy, I just go to the bed and sit and demand somebody brings me coffee, get my book out. That wall, I think, is the only bit that they didn't really think about. They just went, well, it's not got a window, stick some vinyl on it, pop the light on, and it just sort of looks a bit bare. So eventually something's going to have to go there to make it a little bit more colourful and a little bit less beige. With doors, people were saying that it was cold and they were getting a draft. we're not at all. I sleep over that side, and no, not a draft at all. The only thing I'm going to do is I am going to put some curtains up, sort of two panel type things running horizontally, so that if we open the back door and the kids are still in bed, they're not exposed to the elements. And it's not even like it needs to be done because it's cold. It is literally, I want to put it in just so they've got a bit of privacy. We're plugged in at home at the moment, just so that I can warm the van up, get the fridge sorted. Because we're not driving for long tomorrow, so might as well pre-charge the fridge. But all the controls for this are so simple and so easy to use. So that is your control panel for you're on, you're off, and you can check your water levels. You can always leave it on leisure for the battery choices. You can change the time, etc. That if you get yourself an Expedition, that button there is for that light there. So it doesn't have its own switch like on the wall like the rest of them, so remember that. Light switches, so one does the cab bit and one does these lights here, and then there's light switches down on the other side of the fridge that are for the bed, one for top, one for bottom. That you can see I'm on electric and we've gone full on it because, you know, we're on mains, it's fine. But all you need to do to change your heating is that you can, if you're on hookup, you can put both of them on and it sort of charge it up with the gas, keep it on with the electric. Or you can just have it on the gas. And then your water, so you have to make sure that that is on. I'm not going to do it now because my boiler is still open. I haven't got water on board at the moment. So you make sure that that is on before you go and play with that. That water gets steaming hot. It's lovely. And it's quick. It doesn't take very long at all to warm up, which is good. And then it seems to hold the heat for quite a while as well. We haven't had a shower yet, so I'll report back on that, on how efficient it is on that. And then just in here there is a little yellow knob, and you just twist it one way to open your boiler to drain, twist it the other way, your boiler's shut, and then you've just got to prime your boiler by turning your tap on to pull the water through. Don't put your heating on until you've done your boiler, because, you know, obviously it'll just burn out because it's dry. So the only thing you ever need to be careful about is that bit, that if you are going to put the hot water on, you've got to make sure that you've primed the boiler. So you've got the pump on, you've primed the boiler before you put your hot water on, because as I said, you know, it'll burn through the element. But with them being separate, if you just want the heating on, you've just got the heating on. If you want just the hot water on, you can just have the hot water on, and that's it. When we load up with water, we'll put the bathroom tap on as well for a bit, and that'll draw that water through to there. Yeah, and that's as technical as it gets, which is great. Toilet's dead easy to empty. Just open the door, pull the cassette out, off you go. As long as you make sure the toilet is shut. So the little sidey bit on the toilet has to be shut, otherwise you can't pull the cartridge thing out. Water, very easy. I recommend that you get a bit of hose, a bit of drain pipe, that's the word I'm looking for. You just need a bent bit, as if by magic. Get one of those. Still got the sticky thingy on it. It is a 68mm offset bend. When you go to do your water, if you're filling up with a watering can, or we've got a 25-litre bottle that we use to fill up at home rather than trying to haul a hose pipe round, poke that in where your water filler is and you can pour straight into it. It sits itself in quite snugly, so you don't need to worry about holding it and holding everything else. But yeah, really, really useful. And it's useful as well. Like I said, if you're off and all you can do is get watering cans full of water, or small bottles of water, that's the easiest way to fill it. You might be able to, the heating, I've just turned it up a little bit, as you saw, just to warm up in here a little bit more. Now, when it's boosting, or when it first comes on, either the flame or the lightning symbol will be orange, and they'll turn to blue when it's up and running, but you will hear everything sort of clicking and ticking over and starting up. So I think when you've got this on full tilt on gas, it does, whilst it's boosting, sound a little bit like a rocket about to take off. It's not discreet, but then it's fine sleeping overnight. We just turned it down. We just pop it on night because we've got thick duvets and that. But put it on the night setting and it doesn't really make much noise. Put the fridge on night setting as well. Then it just comes on every so often and just gently ticks over, rather than doing the continuous got to keep it at temperature noise that you get with them, which is quite annoying sometimes at night if you're a light sleeper like me. So it's really whooshing in now. Whilst I was relocating the bits in the wardrobe, the table for the back is in there, the table leg for the back is in there, but also the fire extinguisher was in there, which to me didn't seem like a good idea because it was right at the back. And I know that something bright red isn't aesthetically pleasing when you've got, your nice beechwood and grey interior, but when there are flames, you want to be able to get to it quickly. So I've relocated that came out, and it's just, as you're coming through the door, it's on the wall next to the bin. It means we can get it from outside and we can get it from inside as well. I added a fire blanket too. I'm going to be spending some money at the Motorhome and Caravan show, because yes, I'm going again, and yeah, it's safe because I've already bought the van, so I can't buy another one. But I'm going to go and get some of those the fire sticks, the ones that you twist a cap, lob it in, shut the door and run. They've got years lifespan on them. They take up no room, they're really light and they're really effective, and you've got an engine fire and that, you can lift your bonnet, wang one of them in there and shut it down and let it do its job in there. So last time I saw them, they were about £60 or so. So I'm going to go and have a look at the show and see what they are, because I think that's quite sensible to have, and it would be easy enough to find a home for them, even though they are red against the beige colour and grey, but you know, I like a bit of colour. There is one additional extra that we weren't expecting. You know, I put plans in for it, but in here is your MPPT, because they've added a solar panel to the top. It's one of the flat ones, you know, the ones that just stick on rather than the framed raised ones. I think it's about 125, 130 watts or something like that. It's, you know, it's not massive, but it seems to top up the battery fine. We'll add more. I mean, I would love, you know, the lithium battery setup, but oh, I can't afford that at the moment. That's going to take some talking to the other half about, to eventually get that put in. But you know, I can try and be nice and sweet and lovely and see whether he'll join me on, yeah, saving up for one of those. So apart from Haworth, what are the plans? Well, there's Haworth. There's the motorhome caravan, or whatever it's called, that Birmingham one. We're going to that. I'm going to go to Birmingham area to get the extra security fitted. Then I've got a good block of time off for Easter with the kids, so I was thinking about taking them home. I've lived here for a long time up north, but it's not where I'm from. I am from the proper southwest, and I think it's about time I took a trip back there for a bit. And then in the summer, we are hoping to get to Sweden. The youngest really wants to go there. She has a friend that she's made there online. We've checked. They are actually teenage human. Definitely not anybody 55 years old living in his dad's basement, mum and dad's basement. So she's legit. So I thought, yeah, why not? We shall try for Sweden. So that sees us to the summer. And in the meantime, in between, there is more Scotland and the northeast, I think. Probably when we go down to the motorhome show, there's probably going to be a bit of Shropshire as well. Because funnily enough, even though I say that I'm from the southwest, I originate from more in the Midland bit, but you know, it's where you were born to where you grew up sort of thing. So, you know, pops and see the last remaining family that are there, and probably have a poodle around a bit of Shropshire for a few days. See if we can find somewhere different to go. So, if you want to join us, you could subscribe, you could click on the notification, and yeah, give this one a like, because we like likes. But yeah, subscribe, follow us. You can watch me regularly lose it, because I do. I'm like possibly the least chill person in the world. I like to live on an even keel. I rarely manage it though. Right, so that's it for this week. You know, you've seen the van. If you've got any questions about the 67 Flex, put them in the comments. You know, I'm on a Facebook group. I send people measurements on request. I'll answer weird questions. As long as they're related to, you know, van and not anything weirder. Yeah.
So we'll see you next time. Bye.